I'm not gonna lie, the new Avatar Aang movie ruined my day because the movie itself is actually really good, but I just kept thinking this would have been so much better to watch in a movie theater. But here are my full spoiler-free thoughts and the best and worst parts of the film. If you don't know, this movie obviously follows Aang and his friends from the Avatar: The Last Airbender TV show who are all grown up now, and Aang is trying to solve this mystery of this apparent ancient power that could save airbenders from going extinct, and along the way they run into this other ancient airbender. I'm not gonna lie, the story is probably the weakest element of this movie. Like, it's not bad in any ways, and I think it does a good job at capturing a lot of the core elements of what made the original Avatar: The Last Airbender such a great show. A lot of the same humor and messaging is in here, but it is just slightly simple and predictable. I do think it really would have benefited from like an extra 10 to 20 minutes to flesh out the story a little bit more and give some of the new and returning characters more screen time. I have seen a lot of people complaining about the voice acting. I actually didn't mind it at all. It really took me like 10 to 20 minutes to settle into hearing all these new voices for the characters we obviously grew up watching, but I think everybody did a pretty great job at capturing the spirit of their characters. There was no one that was like, oh, that's super out of place for me. I also have lots of like new fun celebrity voice cameos that are all doing a good job. Like, you got Kihei Kwan and Taika Waititi in very small roles. You got Dave Bautista in this movie, but like Dave Bautista is doing a great job. Like, yeah, it sounds like his regular voice, but it's not like he's phoning it in. It's actually a very good voice acting performance. It doesn't take you out of the movie. The only voice that kind of took me out of scenes is Steven Yeun, who voices Zuko in this movie. I think it's partially because Zuko's original voice actor was just so iconic in this role, and now I'm just hearing Steven Yeun literally just talk like he's Mark Grayson from Invincible now. And like I said, even though the story itself is pretty simple, I think it does a great job at kind of expanding the Avatar universe. We get to explore some really cool areas, new lore, and like I said, we're dealing with like ancient airbenders and stuff, and all of that stuff was really cool to learn about. I think by far the best and worst part of this movie is how amazing it looks. Like, the animation is absolutely stunning to look at. All of the fight scenes are super well animated, and the choreography in them is really creative, and you can tell there was so much time and love put into this film, which makes it so disappointing that this released on streaming only instead of in theaters. This would have looked absolutely incredible on the big screen, and I really think this movie would have made a really good amount of money if they just put it in theaters. The Avatar fan base is huge. I really will never understand this decision. It's just so tragic, everything that happened with this movie leaking online, getting put on streaming. And like I kind of touched on earlier, I definitely think some characters like Toph and Zuko in particular, I feel like they definitely needed like one or two just moments dedicated to them having their time to shine in this movie, because it's kind of overshadowed by just this big Aang storyline, which obviously the movie is literally called Avatar Aang, so I can't really fault it for that. I also need to give a shout out to the humor. Like, Sokka in particular had like 3 different scenes in this movie that actually made me laugh out loud, which felt so true to his character. And like I said, they did a really great job at capturing the spirit and essence of all these characters while also having them in this new aged up form. It's just such an enjoyable and easy watch that really captures that original feeling of the TV show in a new and fresh way. Maybe if I'm being super critical, it's more like a 7 out of 10, but I just love this world and characters so much, and I think it did a great job at capturing it. So I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. If you watched the movie, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and click the playlist above my head right now if you want to see my other movie reviews on the channel.